Hi folks, Jay from Broken Arrow Archery here. Today I'd like to talk to you about part of the growth area in our shop here is bow hunting. Lots of people are coming in and buying up hunting arrows and broadheads so they can go out and hunt. So today I thought I'd assume my position as a non-hunter that I'm going to go out and do a bit of hunting myself, and I've got two authorities here on bow hunting. And they're just going to talk to me about the things, the places I can hunt and the type of animals that I can hunt legally in Queensland, and show us some of the gear that you can use to hunt with. So maybe Alan, like if I go, just say I wanted to go out on a mate's property and hunt pig, he's got lots of pigs there and I can go and hunt them. How do I, as long as I've got permission from him, can I do
that? The state prefers you to have written permission for any sort of hunting here in Queensland.
In case there's an incident or something like that,
in case something goes wrong, we like to see everyone have written permission for just the safety aspects, and that way there's no, he did, she did sort of thing. And
yeah, like a written agreement of what you can and can't hunt on people's property.
What's off limits, guidelines for what you're going to be doing there, and basically just, keeping it all above board.
All right. Okay, and Simon, are there animals that I'm not allowed to hunt?
Definitely native animals. Basically anything that's feral, and the landowner has given you permission to do. Yeah. So some landowners like a pig or the goats because they actually utilise the goats to sell, and then the deer and things like that that actually eat a lot and so forth that they want to get rid of, they will ask you to get rid of them and them only. So it's you're going on somebody's land and you're doing what they're asking you to do. So that's the animals, but no native animals.
So I guess it's always best if you get permission to go on a property and you're talking to the owner and to have a good conversation with him, get it in writing, maybe to say, hey, he doesn't want you to kill his goats or his, farm animals or whatever he's breeding and stuff like that, or maybe there's a particular one that he might want to get rid of them. Well, give you permission to do that.
If you do get to travel out and do a lot of hunting and further afield than southern Queensland, is that the guys up north actually keep their goats. They actually make a lot of money from their goats. So they don't want you to shoot goats, which is sometimes a shame, but at the end of that, you do
I guess what's on their property is part of what they own.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. So, we've got a whole heap of different broadheads here, and Alan was saying to me earlier, there are rules in Australia about what types of broadheads you can use. I believe there's something, if you've got an arrow that's got a fixed barb type blade, you're not allowed to use that in Australia?
I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know in some parts of Australia you might have problems. I know, particularly in America, certain states won't allow you to use mechanicals, or some won't let you use a fixed blade. So it depends on where you are. It might pay to look up the rules specifically, like if you're down south in New South Wales or South Australia, you might want to check that. Yeah. But from up here in Queensland, I haven't particularly found anything still.
Do you find that information like through the Bowhunters Association or is it?
Yeah, it's always good to look up council laws, stuff like that, police websites in regards to hunting, law statutes. It's always good to sort of have a bit of a knowledge and sort of know what's legal.
Adding on to that is that New South Wales has actually got a really good licensing program for hunting in their state forests, which we don't do in Queensland at all. So they've got actually how big your broadhead needs to be, the cutting width of
like a minimum and maximum.
Maximum. Not so much a maximum, but certainly minimum.
Yeah, and every state's different.
Every state's different. But New South Wales has got a lovely program, so I'd look at that, and that's a reasonably good guideline. Yeah. But again, look for each state.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, just quickly, what Al was talking about mechanical broadheads, maybe. Yeah. I know what a mechanical broadhead is, so. You can explain what that is. So it's got moving parts.
So basically, this broadhead here, I can't remember off the top of my head what it is. It's a Sicker, I think, or something along those lines. It has a little O-ring that locks the blades in place, and when they hit an object, they deploy wings and they lock into place. And this one here in particular, it pivots so it can wrap around bone and continue on a straight path. Yeah. Then you've got something like my personal favourites is the VIPs. They have an aluminium collar, so when they hit, they deploy the blades, ouch, and they have a spring-loaded blade, and then you've got their four-blade sort of version, which they all open up, so you've got an extra wide cutting.
So by like a mechanical broadhead, obviously starts off small and then spreads out to like a 3-inch wingspan on this one, that sort of thing. It's good 75 mil, that sort of thing.
Better flight
compared to a fixed blade broadhead,
which only has a small
that's
cut.
Whatever that is, probably less than an inch, I guess.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. So
well, that there's an inch. That's a tooth of the arrow broadhead.
Yeah. Wow.
They fly absolutely incredibly accurate, but when you start getting some of the cheaper brands, they don't exactly fly well. The benefits of shooting mechanical is you tend to get better flight through the air. The downside is you tend to not quite get the same sort of penetration, because obviously all the friction from blades opening and so forth, it tends to slow the arrow up a little bit.
But you'd shoot them at a shorter distance. You wouldn't be going out to the max distance.
Oh, because of my preference, I'll shoot a mechanical anyway. I won't shoot an animal over sort of 40 yards. That sort of seems to be my cut-off limit because of the ethical side. You don't want to see animals running around with arrows sticking out of them. Yeah. So you try and be as ethical as we can.
And I see some of the ones up the end there, which are like small game birds and rabbits, that sort of stuff. Yeah,
we got a blunt style, which like this one, it's a mechanical blunt. It opens up to that, so when it flies through the air, it's all nice.
So what makes them different? They obviously don't penetrate as far, or
they tend not to tear holes. Like if you're hunting rabbits, for example, and you don't exactly want to tear a gaping big hole in it, these tend to sort of stop their heart and not damage the meat as much.
Yeah, it's more of a shock.
Yeah, shock to the system.
It's like a big 308.
Blunt force trauma.
Yeah, and the bird type one, with the claws.
These. Oh, this one here, it's another VIP one that's designed for your turkeys, and it just destroys turkeys. And then you got
big American type turkeys.
Yeah, like this big fella on the back wall here.
Yeah.
And then we've got ones like this that they sort of open up and then retract when they hit. Another one that's really good for sort of rabbits. These small game heads here are probably my favourite for rabbits and the like. They just seem to do the job really well.
Yeah.
They don't tend to go too far.
Yeah. All right. So and then you also just mentioned like ethical hunting. So you're saying you ethically will only hunt out to 40 yards.
Yeah.
Like I understand, like being ethical, you want to be able to like kill the animal as fast as possible.
Exactly.
You don't want to just wound it and then have to try and hunt it down days later or whatever.
That's right.
You want a quick kill. So using the right blade for each type of animal and then shooting at a distance that you're capable of.
As accurate as you possibly can, and you only want to use like sharp broadheads. You don't want to get out there and use something that's dull, and always want your broadheads as sharp as possible so that they do maximum cutting damage, so the animal bleeds out as fast as
to do. Yeah,
and being sort of within that 40 metre zone, it gives the animal more of a chance as well. So, you're not out there shooting something at 150 yards and could miss.
And hoping that you get it.
Hoping you get it.
And we see a lot of YouTubers from America that they're shooting 75, 80 yards out.
Yeah.
And these guys have been shooting since they were 4, 5.
Yeah.
They're very, very good at what they do. They're incredibly accurate. And for people coming into the game, you've got to really look at that. Yes, they do it in YouTube, but you can't do it. You really can't do it.
Yeah. I'm an experienced target archer where I used to shoot 90 metres at a target this big, which means the kill zone on an animal at 96. I still wouldn't do that.
No.
I think by then the arrow's probably lost a lot of its energy anyway.
It has. And it's just not really fair on the animal. If you respect the animal, you want to make sure that you're as close as possible to that animal, so you're giving it its fair chance. Unlike someone not picking on gun hunters, but shooting animals at 200.
Guns are a different story, isn't
exactly.
it?
And even they miss, and they have problems as well because they're not experienced enough, they haven't done the training enough, and so forth. So coming closer, and half the thing about bow hunting, is the sneaking.
Yeah, it is getting up on that animal.
It is getting. That is the hardest thing. That's it.
Getting up and being able to smell the animal and like, oh, you know, that's a good stag. Or like it's smelling from 100 metres away. And just giving that animal it's fair credit, fair chance.
Good chance. One of the things that I would like to suggest is that 3D is a really good way to start.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. For me, it was getting in, meeting people who loved archery, but more than that, when you started actually doing the competition, it actually put the pressure on you.
Yeah.
And you get that little bit of nervous, I've got to make this shot. And you're close in winning, or you're close to doing well, having a good score. It gives you that edge where when you're actually shooting when your first animal, you've got the shakes, same sort of thing. More so, that's right.
But with the 3D as well, it helps you learn, in some respects, shot placement.
Yes.
There's a lot of targets out there in the 3D world that me as a hunter, I sort of came into 3D going, oh, look, this is great. I get to shoot at life-size sort of animals and stuff like that. But once you started to get to know the targets, you realise that the kill zone, so to speak, aren't exactly where you'd be shooting on a real-life animal.
Yeah, is that right?
Which is something you need to be a little bit mindful of. But it helps you learn how to place a shot in a certain area.
And that's important.
Yeah.
When you're out hunting, it's not just going out and filling an arrow. It's knowing where to hit, picking the right time, where the bone structure is, has the right spots.
Like some of these tasks. It's in 3D, but the same idea. You've got like a kill zone, a wing zone, body hit sort of thing. I know from shooting at these at anything distance over 25, 30 minutes, you can't see those lines.
No, you can't.
So you're just going for where you would imagine, the heartlands would be on this animal.
Exactly. Knowing the anatomy of your target species is probably just as important as knowing your equipment and how well it's set up, because I always think of any animal as having a ball inside of it, and that ball being the lungs, heart, and learning where you can and can't shoot, so that you're going to have
because animals aren't always side on.
They're not always side on.
They're animals; they never be in the right place at the right time. Absolutely.
And especially with deer in particular. I've shot a deer at under 20 yards and missed them because they just managed to duck so low.
Yeah, and fast.
Incredible.
Yeah.
5 yards out and they're ducking an arrow that's travelling at 300 feet per second. You think, how do they do it? But they can.
Yeah. Instinctive thing.
Oh yeah. The will to survive.
So to finish that off, I suppose is 3D is a really good go.
Definitely.
And there's clubs all over the place. And I think it's a good way to start. And you also got people who've been shooting for many, many years. So you can ask lots of questions. Yeah. And lots of help.
Yeah.
So,
and a lot of them are, seasoned hunters. So you can get the right information about where to go and
that's
all
it.
that sort of thing.
Not that they'll ever tell you.
No. Most hunters don't like giving away their properties.
And the other thing is that if you do go hunting, same old stuff. You respect the land, clean up after yourself, no rubbish, and communicate.
Like I've heard stories of property owners that not letting bow hunters and rifle hunters back in land because they've done the wrong thing.
Yeah.
They've gone out there and killed the wrong animal, like the farmers, breeding goats or whatever, and shot them. Or they've not, they've taken an animal and then just taken a piece of meat off it. They left the carcass there. And that brings feral dogs in and pigs in, all that sort of stuff that they don't want on the land.
Particularly with the deer hunters in the rural, we see a lot of poachers coming in and just taking the heads off animals, and that's so wasteful. Admittedly, when you get a big stag in the raw, his meat's normally not probably the nicest to eat anyway. But just seeing beautiful animals wasted is
it's just wrong.
Not a part of what we as real hunters, or I'd say real hunters, don't like seeing. And you see, particularly since all of this COVID-19 stuff, we've seen a lot of animals showing up on Facebook and stuff like that, like cows that have been shot. And that's not something as a hunter you like seeing, because one, it destroys our reputation as hunters, and it makes it harder for legitimate hunters to get out on properties and do what we love to do.
Yeah, it spoils it for the ones doing the right thing. Yeah. All right, so just to be clear on what we can and can't hunt in Australia, is you were saying native animals?
Yeah, no Australian native animals.
So
no wallabies, kangaroos, kangaroos,
wombats,
echidnas,
quolls.
Yeah, quails.
Bush turkeys,
Quails.
obviously, yeah.
Yeah,
We have
bush
people
turkeys.
come in the shop ask all the time about wanting to get rid of a local bush turkey because it's destroying their nice garden.
No.
It's protected
Off-
species.
Totally off
Absolutely.
limits.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anything that was introduced to Australia, it's a bit of a touchy subject with some people, but like feral cats, for example. I live out in the bush, so for me, if there's a cat coming to my property and it doesn't have a collar, it will be dispatched as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Just because I have other animals.
Well,
that I
yeah,
have to
chickens,
look
all
after,
that sort of stuff,
So,
yeah.
things like that, the foxes in particular. So, the things we like to see hunted are the foxes, the feral cats, the deer, the pig, the goats where you can, things like that. Just all of our natives, we want sort of left out of the equation, and it is wool.
Yeah,
So, please don't. There's a lot of newcomers to the sport at the moment that want to get their first kill, so to speak. So, we've got to try and educate Australia that these animals are to be shot.
Yeah, they're protected. Yeah. I think you mentioned dingoes earlier.
Yeah, dingoes. It's a bit of a touchy subject. Like, for example, Fraser Island, you obviously can't go over there and kill anything, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
But so dingoes have their place, but they are an introduced species. They were introduced to Australia over 2,000 years ago, and they are legally allowed to be hunted.
Okay.
So, it's.
So I guess for the beginner that wants to get into hunting, the best is to ask around, ask the people what you can hunt. If you want to hunt, you find out what you really are legally allowed to hunt, and
I think it's fairly
what's good eating at what season. Like you're saying, deer in a rut doesn't taste as good.
No, definitely not as good.
Do we have seasons for deer in Australia? I know in America they have like a deer hunting season where you're allowed to go and bow hunt deer, and then they have a season where you can rifle hunt deer.
Yeah, well, deer in Queensland are open 24/7. You're allowed to hunt deer at any stage of the year, but we have what's called raw. It's where the males go into their breeding, get boisterous, and their antlers are at full growth and they're at their best potential. Doesn't necessarily make them great to eat, but it's more of a trophy. If you're hunting deer at that sort of time of year.
Testosterone through the veins, so it makes the meat very gamey.
A bit like goats, they tend to like peeing on themselves for smell, and deer like to roll in mud and get pretty festy. So you'll smell a deer before you'll see him half the time. So it's everything has its breeding cycles. Obviously, if you're out chasing female deer after sort of now right through until November, they're most likely going to be pregnant. So.
And I'm really glad that you brought that up, in the fact that if you do kill a female deer and there's a doe, you really got to get the doe as well. You've really got to find it, because what you're doing is you're killing the mum, and then the baby's going to starve. And even to the point that I go, baby mum, I don't touch. But if you've got to eat and you really are filling your freezer, then you've got to make sure that you can get that baby. But my advice is just let that one go, find another one.
I seem to find that around the 1.5, 2 year old seem to be the nicest eating anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
So, but I try and stay well and truly clear, and you can sort of tell by the shape of the doe whether they've got kin on board or not.
Absolutely.
Fawn on board.
Yep.
Yeah.
A little bit of a bigger tummy.
Yeah,
that's from your experience though. But I guess for someone like me, if I want to go hunting, I'd team up with one of you guys and lean on your advice anyway to do the right thing.
And it's always good to have a hunting buddy. Australia's a pretty dangerous place, like for snakes and stuff like that. So I prefer not to hunt alone. I always like to have a hunting partner or a hunting buddy, or at least have a UHF or handheld radio to keep in contact. Practice makes perfect. So if you can, use the 3D targets or get into 3D hunting, and really make sure you're as ethical as you can be, and just know what you can and can't do where you are. It's probably the biggest thing I can suggest.
And each start of each season, or you're going to go hunting, go through your bow. Get it actually
Check on your maintenance.
We do videos about bow maintenance here. It's important even for target archery. We're all after a prize in the end, whether you're hunting or whether you're trying to get a big score and beat everybody else. So if you're halfway through doing that and something fails on your bow because you've neglected it,
and do a bit of broadhead tuning as well. Like, make sure your broadheads are all a lot of these new broadheads come out with a practice head and whatever, so you can use them. So this one in particular, you just stick a set screw in the broadhead
and lock the blades.
Lock the blades in, so it's not going to dull your blades when you're practicing.
Yeah. And then you've got this other one here, which is
that's basically the practice head for both these broadheads here.
That's right.
You know, it just helps the life of your broadhead in particular.
Yeah, right.
So,
and it's actually a good idea to do some broadhead tuning, understanding field points fly differently to these broadheads. So getting them tuned down together is important, so that when you do practice, they're not far off.
Yep.
But getting those groups in, getting that group in with the practice head is really important.
And a lot of companies out there will say that, look, we have field point accuracy when it comes to their broadheads, but a lot of the time too, you still have to have a tuned bow. You're not going to be able to pick up any bow and go, oh, rightio, well, this says it's field point accurate, and pick it up and shoot it, and you might find it just won't be.
Yeah.
So I tend to, obviously most broadheads come in packs of 3, so I'll actually take one out, and you can see a few there that are probably painted black, and that's designated as my practice head, so I know that every time I pick one up, it's going to fly the way I want it to fly.
But if you have a look at the broadhead in its own right, the wind is going to go around it differently. It's going to spin through the air differently. So you do need to tune them from something that is very similar to that, like a target point. So they will fly differently, and you do need to really understand how they fly. And again, don't go too cheap, but you won't lose them too much in the fact that you've trained with them and know how they fly.
Yeah. And I personally, I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but stay away from cheap eBay broadheads and stuff like that. You go with a trusted brand, G5, Exodus, VIP, NAP, all the big guys. You know, they've been in the game for a long time, so you can almost guarantee that they're going to be on point. You still get the odd faulty one,
but they've spent the money on the research.
Exactly.
So why would you not trust them?
Exactly.
You know, it's
like you go buy a dozen of these for $5 on Wish, and I guarantee, or eBay, I guarantee that only one in every 50 will fly even remotely good. I bought some of these for my son to go chasing rabbits with, and he's not even going. He had one out there one day practicing, and he did nearly a 90-degree turn. He's like, I'm not using these guys.
Oh, guys, it's been a really good conversation here about all this hunting and stuff like that. I've learned a bit too. We all like to, our viewers out there that follow Broken Arrow Archery, we're all about education and teaching people to do the right thing and to do it properly and get great success with what they're doing. So just follow us on Facebook, and we'll be putting more stuff up about different types of broadheads and what they do. We'll be organising some hunts for people to come out and learn, first timers I guess, to come out and learn off these guys, for example, from their experience. So keep following us and watch some more of our videos. Anything you want to know, just drop a comment down there, ask a question, and we'll hopefully get it answered for you in another video.
Subscribe and use the bell and put a comment there, all those sorts of things. Really good. Anyway.
Thank you.
Thank you.